Are you somebody that's concerned Bernie Sanders can't win this nomination? I mean, excuse me, can win the nomination, but can't win the general election against Donald Trump?
No, I am not one of the people who's ever going to join a Stop Bernie campaign. I'm someone who believes, and I think you've heard me say this, Chuck, that in order to beat Donald Trump, you're going to have to be able to take him on and beat him on the economy. That he's running on the economy, on his record on the economy, and on the idea that Democrats will kill jobs. And as somebody who built a business from scratch and knows a lot about job creation, I can take him on the economy and beat him.
Why is it that you're better prepared to do that than Joe Biden? If you're going to make an economic argument, and there are some people that think that is not a good idea in this economy, it's a harder campaign, but let's say you do. Why isn't Joe Biden the better person to make the economic argument, since the biggest argument Democrats make is that this expansion started in the Obama administration?
Because in order to win this argument, Chuck, you're going to have to be able to show that Mr. Trump is using misleading numbers, that he's basically lying about the impact of the economy in terms of working Americans across the board, that in fact, yes, the economy is growing, but all the increased income has gone to rich people. That yes, we have low unemployment, but at $7.25, you can't afford to live on the jobs. That this is basically the Mar-a-Lago economy, and what we're going to do differently to really create growth, to create broad-based growth. And in fact, the fact that Mr. Trump's economy is really a continuation of the Reagan economy, which has always been about cutting taxes for rich people and big corporations and favoring rich people and big corporations at the expense of working people for 40 years. You've got to be able to make that argument and make it stick, and you've got to understand really what drives economic growth in order to do it.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.